this point basically controls the routes into the interior of the wilderness. King, he decided to send around nicely dressed soldiers called recruiting parties. They would go to the local town tavern. They'd buy all of the young men in the tavern rounds of drinks. And when they were drunk enough, they would say, why don't you come and join the army or join the French Marines? You only have to be in for 6 years. We'll send you over to the New World. We'll clothe you. We'll feed you. We'll pay you. Wow, I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't getting fed? Well, not very often. And I definitely had to scrimp and save to buy my own clothing. So, I would get on a ship, go over to New France, be put into a military unit, and shipped off to a post, like Fort Niagara.
The 1600s was when the French came over. There were wars going on in Europe, and the French really needed money. So they were looking for sources of money. So they wanted to establish trading posts in North America with the natives, Native Americans, for beaver pelts, because they could take these beaver pelts back to Europe, make them into tricorn hats, mittens, capes, and the like, and sell to the very wealthy. That would bring in additional money that they could use to fight the wars. Basically, all it was a log cabin to store their supplies, to take to trading posts all across the Great Lakes. So they would bring the goods here, store it. So that was 1678 when the French first came. It was a military post. That was the location. The soldiers would be here to protect the goods because it was a supply depot. The supply depot was in existence up until about 1759, and that's when the British knew that in order to capture all of the forts to the west, if they cut off the supplies, then that would do the trick. So Fort Niagara was always a military post, and it was very important because of all of the goods that could be transported by water. But in 1825, the Erie Canal was finished, and that lost its importance. It was a training post soldiers. The Army was located here. World War I trained soldiers. During World War II, it was an induction center for soldiers coming in to the Army here at Fort Niagara. There was a rifle range out there where they would practice. 1963 was when the Army base was closed down here at Fort Niagara. And we still have military presence, and I think you see the white building behind me, and that's the Coast Guard, and it's for Homeland Security. Okay, so the significance of it is you can piece things together. Fort Niagara was very, very important for the settling of the West and across the Great Lakes. And it was basically because of the beaver, the fur trade.
And much to their surprise, they came up with about a bushel basket of human remains. This would be about 1929. They wanted to make sure that there was no other bodies in there, so in 1941 they did an archaeological dig. And this particular person, but they don't know whether he was French or British, was dug up approximately at the base of where the American flag is. The body parts that were picked up in the first incident were put into the memorial along the lakefront. The bodies that were dug up in the second one in 1941 were put into a common container and reburied in the 1812 cemetery at the fort. A lot of strange things happened around here.
Yeah.
Good day.